Hi all, today we are going to discuss about arc suppression coil or resonant grounding. So what is arc suppression coil grounding? So this arc suppression coil, or it is also called as the Peterson coil or also called as the ground fault neutralizer. These are the different names that are assigned to it. It is called arc suppression coil because it is going to suppress the arc that we are going to see, and it is invented by the scientist Peterson. That's why it is called as Peterson coil, and it is used for the ground fault neutralization. So that's why it is called as ground fault neutralizer. It is basically a tapped iron core reactor mounted on the neutral earthing circuit capable of being tuned to resonate with the capacitance of system during the earth fault. So what is the meaning of this? Let us try to analyze this one. So I am taking the circuit, how it will be connected, then we will analyze this one. So we know that these are the three phases. Already we are discussing about these things in our previous lectures also. The three phases I am taking as R, Y, and the third phase is the B phase. So this one, the neutral point will be connected to ground through a tuned reactor. That means a reactor is a variable reactor which can be varied, by which we can control the value of inductance of this, or we can control the value of inductive reactance of this coil. So let us assume the capacitance between R phase to ground I am representing by this one. This is my capacitance between R phase to ground, and the capacitance between Y phase to ground. These are the two capacitors, and let us assume the fault has happened in the B phase. So now what are the different currents that will pass? So one current will be the capacitance due to the capacitor connected to R phase to ground, and the second one will be the capacitor that is connected between Y phase to ground. So let us take the value of this capacitor as this is CR, this is CY. Getting this one? So now this resultant current I am representing by ICR. That resultant current will pass through your ground fault or through your reactor. Similar way, your fault current also will pass through your reactor. Agree with me? So let us try to draw the connection diagram, or let us try to draw the phasor diagram for the same. So the phasor diagram for this I can draw like this. This is my value of VRN. This is my value of VYN, and this is my value of VBN. So now whenever the fault comes, automatically this fault, this B phase is connected to ground, or this capacitor is connected between the R phase and the B phase, because ground is now connected to B. Ground is not directly connected to the neutral point because here there is a reactor. So automatically this point is connected to now B phase. So the voltage across this capacitor will be the line voltage. So the same thing I am representing. This is my voltage VRB. Because of this, the capacitor current will pass ICR, which will be leading this one. So this is ICR. Similarly, the second voltage will be across the second capacitor will be, this will be the voltage, this is VYB. Because of that, the respective capacitor current will lead the respective voltage. This is equal to ICY because it is leading the respective voltage. So the resultant of these two currents, that gives my resultant capacitive current. So this resultant capacitive current I am representing by ICF. So now if this reactor is not there in the isolated neutral condition, we have seen in isolated neutral circuit, this will be supplied by your fault current. So as this is fault is supplying this capacitive current, because of this the arcing grounds are coming. That means the major reason for the arcing grounds is this capacitive current. Let us see that by making some arrangement, if I can neutralize or cancel this capacitive current or remove the capacitive current, then the problem of arcing grounds will be completely nullified. So using this reactor, I am going to control in such a way that no current will pass because of the fault. That means even if the B phase is connected to ground, the fault current because of that B phase connection to ground will be equal to 0, because these capacitive currents will not pass because of this. So we have to make the arrangement like that. So for that, what I am doing, I am connecting a reactor. So the voltage, because whatever the voltage is there at the fault, that voltage is applied across this reactor, or otherwise the voltage at the fault I can represent like this. Because of this only the ground is shifted, because the neutral point, this is a new neutral point N dash. So this is my voltage of the fault. So the current, because of that, as this is a reactor, the fault current will be lagging behind this voltage by 90 degrees. Agree with me? So this is my fault current. So if I can adjust my fault current in such a way, this the value of IF will be exactly equal to ICF. Both will cancel each other, or the net current will be equal to 0. As the net current will be equal to 0, what is the meaning of this? No current will pass through your fault, because these capacitive currents are not going to pass through the fault. Even if the fault is connected to ground, this fault current IF cannot pass through this reactor, because the value of the reactor is tuned with the value of the capacitor. Actually, this reactor forms a tuning circuit or a parallel resonant circuit with the combination of these capacitors. Two capacitors are there. This entire thing, the net sum will be ICF, that will form in resonance with the current passing through this reactor. So automatically your fault currents becomes equal to 0. So that's why it is called as a resonant circuit, or it is also called as a resonant grounding, and also called as arc suppression grounding, because this fault current will be equal to 0. No fault current can pass because of this reactor. So let us see how this can be achieved. In order to achieve this, we know that both the currents should cancel each other. Then in that case, we can tell that the fault current will become equal to 0, or no arc can be sustained. So for that, the value of this ICF should be equal to IF. Let us calculate each one of these values. So the value of ICF, because you can see here, it is the sum of two currents. One current is ICR, another current is ICY. And if you calculate the angle between them, this angle between them will be 60 degrees, because voltage gap between the voltages also 60 degrees. Getting this one? So this ICF will be equal to root 3 times of the magnitude of ICR. Agree with me? So the value of ICR is nothing but root 3 times of this. ICR is the ratio of voltage by reactance, but the voltage is the line voltage here. So this will become root 3 times of V phase divided by HC. Agree with me? So this one will be equal to the fault current. The fault current is passing mainly because of this reactor. You agree with me? So what is the value of the reactor? The value of the reactor, because the fault voltage is the phase voltage. So this is the phase voltage, because this is VF. VF divided by the inductive reactance, that is equal to XL. Or this I can write from here. So this will be root 3 multiplied by root 3 will become equal to 3 times of V phase by XC is equal to V phase divided by XL. Agree with me? So this I am further simplifying. So if you simplify this, you will get this value of XL is equal to XC divided by 3. Or from this we can tell omega L is equal to 1 by 3 times of omega C. Or the value of the inductance is adjusted in such a way, L will be equal to 1 by 3 times of omega square C, where omega is equal to 2 pi f, where the value of omega is equal to 2 pi f. So by properly adjusting the tapping on this reactor, if you can make it equal to 1 by 3 times of omega square C, so automatically this IF will be exactly counterbalanced by the ICF, or the net resultant current will be equal to 0. So automatically, even if the ground is connected or the fault is connected to ground, no current will pass because of the ground. This is something equivalent to this isolated neutral system only. But in the case of isolated neutral system, we have seen the capacitive currents are returning back to your fault. Here the capacitive currents are passing through your ground, this your neutral system. So your fault current cannot pass through this. So your fault currents becomes equal to 0 because of the effect of this reactor. And when this reactor will operate, only if the B phase is connected to ground, as this voltage is now become equal to ground voltage, or at this point now the voltage becomes equal to your B phase voltage. So because of this voltage, the current is passing in such a way, this current will be exactly counterbalancing the value of the capacitive currents. So that's why this is called as arc suppression coil. But practically, because we cannot predict where the fault will come, because fault can come anywhere in the line. So depending on which location the fault is coming, the capacitive current will vary. So that's why exact tuning of this coil is not possible. In practice, always there will be some mismatch. Always there will be some mismatch. Because of this mismatch, very small value of the fault current will pass. So even the small value of the fault current is passing, it is not going to disturb your circuit. That's why your circuit will continue to operate. Only disadvantage is the healthy phase voltage will increase to your line voltage, whereas even if the ground fault happens, the fault current is negligibly small or very less, so your circuit can continue to operate under normal operating conditions only. So now if you want to disconnect this fault after some time, because practically what happens, most of the cases this line to ground faults happens either because of the lightning, during the lightning, or during some trees will come and fall on your line. So because of that also it can happen. And the third reason is because of the birds. So in all these cases, the fault will get disconnected by itself within few seconds or within few minutes in 70 to 80% of the cases. Only 30% of the faults will be sustained faults. That means some of the phase conductor is cut and falling on the ground. So that cannot be disconnected. Only in such case, we have to isolate it. Otherwise, this fault will continue forever. So in that case, there are two types of ways in which the fault can be detected and isolated. So one of them is called as normal time rating circuit. In the normal time rating circuit, this circuit will wait for 10 minutes for the fault to disconnect. Even if the fault is not disconnecting after 10 minutes, the meaning that is a sustained fault, so that should be disconnected. So how it will be disconnected? As the fault current is very less, so detecting it and isolating the circuit is a very cumbersome process, because even if some current is passing, that doesn't mean that that current is because of the ground fault, because that fault can be because of unbalanced loading of the phases also. So that's why the care should be taken for that. So for testing that, what we do, we connect one resistor in parallel with the reactor. Under normal condition, only this reactor, this arc suppression coil is connected to your circuit. Your neutral is connected to arc suppression coil. And there is a circuit breaker which is normally under open condition. That means this resistor is not connected. This resistor is not connected under normal conditions. So now what happens, if this is the earth fault relay, if some earth fault current, let us assume some IF is passing through this. So this relay will detect the fault and it will be connected to a timer circuit. The timer will go on measuring the time. So if the time crosses 10 minutes, that means after 10 minutes, this earth fault relay will close the circuit. When the earth fault relay closes the circuit, what happens? So this will activate the trip coil of your circuit breaker. So your circuit breaker will be closed. That means your circuit breaker will close after 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes when the circuit breaker is closed, so now you can see your neutral is now bypassed through the resistor. So generally the resistance value is lesser than the reactance value. So we have seen the resistance grounding, the fault current is more than that of the isolated neutral grounding and less than solid grounding. So the fault current will be more. So when the fault current is more, then automatically what happens, whenever it switches to resistor, fault current increases. So automatically whichever circuit breakers are connected to your line, that means whichever circuit breaker is connected in the respective phase, let us assume this is my R, Y and B phase, whichever circuit breaker is connected in this phase, so this will detect this fault current and it will isolate that respective phase. So I am summarizing again, 80% of the cases, the faults are intermittent faults only or the transient ground faults only. They will be disconnected by themselves. So we need not take care of them. But only 20% of the faults will be permanent faults. So that's why your circuit will wait for 10 minutes before operating, and after 10 minutes only your circuit breaker will be closed and you will bypass the current through the resistor, so that your circuit can detect whether it is because of the imbalances in the circuit or it is actual fault current. Accordingly, your normal circuit equipment will operate. Getting it? So this is what is done practically. There is one more type, that is continuous rating circuit. In the continuous rating circuit, only reactor will be connected, and when the fault happens, it is not detected by anyone unless some person complain that our voltage has tripped for a particular phase. So the concerned people will go on searching in the line and detect where the fault happened. They will disconnect it. Then only that particular phase will work. Otherwise, remaining phase, two phases will continue to work. That will be detected only if a particular person goes and checks it. Otherwise, it cannot be detected. Getting it? That is for continuous rating. So this method is normally confined to medium voltage overhead transmission lines which are connected to the system generating source through power transformers. That means only for grounding the power transformers only we go for resonant grounding. We don't go for resonant grounding for earthing the alternators. The reason is, we know the voltage of the healthy phases increases under the fault conditions. So automatically the insulation level required for each phase on the apparatus will be increased now to the line voltage. Agree with me? So that means the insulation should be provided for the line voltage. So providing the insulation for the line voltage is very easy in the transformer when compared to that of the generators. Because generators, if you want to increase the insulation, the size of the generator increases drastically. So it is not possible in practice. So that's why it is only used for the case of the transformers. Getting it? And the next one, the LG faults are line to ground faults are more frequent due to lightning and birdays etc. and they remain for the short duration. These are the frequent faults. So as these are the frequent faults, so they go on coming frequently, your system should be able to withstand the transient that comes during these faults. So that is also easily possible in the case of transformer compared to that of alternators. So what is the application of this one? It is advantageously used on the radial lines as this avoids the need for construction of parallel lines for service continuity. So because of this, the capital cost is saved. What does it mean? So generally, let us take for example, there is a line and there is some load here. So this load is connected by a single line. That means in between some tappings are taken. So this is called as the radial line. So let us assume if the fault happens at any one point, this entire line will be disconnected. That means no power will reach your load. So that is the disadvantage in the radial line. So to provide the continuity of supply, what we do, generally we provide a parallel line so that when the fault happens in any one line, this second line can supply your load. Because of this, the extra investment is there. But if you are going for this resonant grounding, out of the three phases, whichever phase the fault comes, only that phase is disconnected and remaining two phases will continue to supply its normal load. That is the advantage of this going for the resonant grounding. So that's why this is mainly used for the radial lines to provide the continuity of the supply. So obviously as there is no parallel line requirement, there will be a saving in the capital cost. So let us try to summarize what we have observed till now. The features of the arc suppression coil grounding is during the single line to ground fault, the voltage across the healthy phases rises to line value. The continuity of supply can be maintained for long periods with one line grounded till the faulty section is removed. It can be either removed automatically, that is using the normal rating, that is 10 minutes, or it can be detected by the personnel instead of the circuit. During the sustained ground fault, the fault current is only the fraction of the capacitive current. Very less current will pass and hence there is no problem of burning or heating effect. And moreover, if the current is very less, because I discussed in the case of the isolated neutral system also, if the current is only greater than 4 amperes, then only the sustained earth fault will be there. That means the arcing grounds will be found. If the current is less than that, the arc will extinguish automatically. The arc cannot be maintained. So getting it? So that is the major advantage of this one. So as the arc cannot be maintained, automatically the heating and burning effect is minimum. Then the transient ground faults are suppressed, because transient ground faults, they will disconnect by themselves. So more than 70% of that faults are cleared without disconnecting the circuit, because less than 10 minutes they will disconnect. So that's why your circuit breaker will not operate or your circuit will not trip. Automatically your supply is restored. So now the inductive interference to neighboring communication circuits is lesser in magnitude, because the magnitude is very less current is passing, but the duration will be longer in this case. When compared to Adi and other grounding systems, generally they are disconnected within 30 seconds. Here we have to wait up to 10 minutes. So that's why the duration is longer, but magnitude is very less. So during the normal operation, the system acts as an isolated neutral system only. That means the reactor will be effective only if there is a ground fault. Otherwise, it doesn't play any role in your system. Then the voltage gradient on the ground surface in the vicinity of the fault is reduced and the danger to the life in the proximity of fault is less. Let us assume there is a transmission line. So transmission line is cut and fall on the ground. So whenever it falls on the ground, if any person comes and stands nearby, he may not be touching this wire, but in other type of fault, or if your fault current is more, he will experience shock. He will experience the shock in other types of grounding systems. Whereas in this case, as the fault current is very less, he will not experience the shock. So I hope this thing you have the basic idea what is the potential gradient, how it comes. when the conductor falls on the ground. If you want to know this in detail, you can leave your request in the comment section below. So if majority of the people are requesting, then I will try to make a video on this, how this shock is experienced by a person without touching the wire when the wire falls on the ground. It is due to the potential gradient or the current gradient distribution. So I hope the resonant grounding is completely clear to you. If you still have any queries, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. I will answer to your queries from there. Thank you. Thank you very much.